Hello and welcome back, everyone. We are here again on YouTube and LinkedIn with another exciting episode of the Top Innovator series. My name is Joseph Martens, and I'm thrilled to introduce our guest today. With us today is Amit Basu. Amit is the CIO and CISO at International Seaways, where they are engaged in the ownership and operation of crude, product, and chemical tankers around the world. He's also founding member of the Association of CISOs, and he held other tech executive roles for various companies before that. And we are absolutely thrilled to have Amit with us in the conversation today. Amit, it's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is all mine. It's absolutely exciting to be here and chatting with you today.
Wonderful. So, Amit, conversation is about leadership. You are super successful, very accomplished journey as a leader. When you reflect on your own journey, when you look at where you are today and how you got there, what do you think are some of the reasons that got you to where you are today? What are the ingredients, the open and the hidden ingredients to your success?
That's an interesting question. I never really looked into that way. According to me, success is not something you run for. You do what you are contracted to do or asked to do. Try to do your job as best you can. Then, as a leader, your job is to not to direct to the people who work for you, but to bring them up to a level where you can trust them, where you can delegate it to them so you can do the better job and empower them to a better leader maybe than you were one day. And I think if you do all those things right, success will come to you. Success, title, accolades, I don't think if you put them as the goal, okay, I need this
Yeah.
accolade or I need this title of a CIO, I don't think it comes that way really. You need to set up the goals on, okay, what task I am supposed to do, how I keep myself to focus and do that the best. So that comes with it really. And only other thing I would say is that since we work in the technology area, we have to keep learning all our life really. You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
See, I'm now working in the technology field for the last 35, 40 years, and we have seen so many different technological changes in that time. We have so many new technologies that made us work differently, work better. So it is not possible for a human being to keep absolutely up to date on all those
Right.
technologies and hands on with all those technologies. So choose the ones that really matters to your career.
Yeah.
Choose the ones that matters to your strategy in your organization, and keep yourself apprised of those technologies.
Yeah.
Work with your team, your vendors, get involved into the discussions with them, the incident, cyber incident or cyber drill, the findings of that. Read whatever comes in front of you about those technologies. Keep
Yeah.
yourself up to date. At the same time, you also have to have some formal education going. And there are so many new things like this AI, which I call almost like an AI explosion going around us. We
Absolutely.
have to, all of us, understand a little bit at least about that technology to get the best or worst, whatever way you see out of
Yeah.
it. So I get into some training program with that and do that. And third way, I think you will be up to date with technology would be collaboration and speaking with others about the technology. Whenever I talk in a conference about a topic, or I talking to my senior executives or board of directors and trying to explain them why I need to implement zero trust or why this particular AI model is superior to the other model, I cannot really use the technical jargons with them. I need to come up with a nice storytelling and come up with a language what they understand. And in that process, I also understand that concept much better. So these are some of the ingredients I try to keep myself kind of occupied. And I think if I do these things right, I think I am confident that I will succeed in my mission. But again, if I don't, there are always some failures in the long journey. So you learn from that failure and move ahead. So the same mistake, you don't do that again.
Yeah. Yeah. So that turned into a nice list after all, right? different tools that we are using. Um, when you think, I'm sure you've collected quite the repertoire of leadership tools, of ways how you lead your team, how you engage your team. When you think of all the tools that you have available, is there something that you use as a go-to tool, something that works well, where you feel this is where you are in your leadership zone, because this really
I
works
think
well?
the most important thing in my leadership tools, if I say, building the trust with my team
Mm,
is the most important thing.
mhm,
Because see, there are really two things goes well with working in the team. Fine. One hand is the positive reinforcement, and
mm,
other hand is the direct challenge. Okay, both are necessary. I need to give a positive reinforcement
mhm,
to my team, and at the same time, in case of anything, if it's not working to the goal or to the benchmark, I need to have a direct challenge to that member to make sure
yeah,
he or she learns
yeah,
where it didn't work and how to make it right this time. To create a nice balance between the two, I need to have a trust relationship with all my team. If we trust each other, it becomes a lot easier.
yeah,
Otherwise, if I put a direct criticism, even if it is for the betterment, is a constructive criticism, it may not be taken out in the right
yeah,
way. So I think developing that trust is important. And another thing is very important. I will keep repeating that my job is to make them better. My job is
mm,
to, okay, whatever I am, when a team member is starting with me, but from there, I can make it a better, how can I make a better not only individual worker, how can I make him a better leader? Only when one of my team member is a transforming into a better leader, then I can transform into doing something more challenging or something more responsible. Unless I can delegate
yeah,
some of my tasks to my team members, I cannot do
yeah,
that. So to achieve that, I need to number one, trust them. Number two, I need to empower them and also make them understand that it they may not succeed on day one. So I have a very standard phrase I keep using with my team, and they are by now I think know this, that success is yours and the failure is mine. Okay,
okay.
that
I
is the
like that.
very standard.
That's a nice
That's
mantra.
the very
I like
standard
that.
thing because that's the only way
Mm,
it works. When I
mm,
have done enough to my senior leadership now and all, so they understand what I am capable of, what I can do.
mm,
So even if there is a mistake happens, I can will be able to tell them that okay, we tried this did not work. So sorry, but this was a failure. But I cannot attribute that to one of my team members
yeah,
because then he will next time he will not take that risk. Without the risk, no
yeah,
innovation will succeed. He cannot get that to a next
yeah,
level. He need to learn from his mistakes. But on the other hand, if there is a success, I need to put the team member to the pedestal in front of the entire company so that he gets that positive reinforcement.
yeah,
There is no better positive reinforcement than that pat in the back in front of everybody.
absolutely.
Hey, this guy is a rock star. He did this for the company. So I think that those are, according to me, the ingredients of developing a highly effective and efficient team.
Yeah. I'm sure you had mentors on your way, trusted advisors, people who were at your side following your professional journey. What were some key pieces of advice that you got from them? Maybe some advice that sticks with you today, that you're grateful for, that's still resonating.
It has come in a long way, really. At this point, maybe it's a little bit difficult to pinpoint some of it.
Hmm.
See, in the very early in my career, when I first started way back, maybe as of today, almost close to 40 years back, I had a very good mentor. When I may not remember at this point the exact wordings, really, to be very frank
Hmm.
with you. But I joined that time, I was a rookie computer programmer, straight out of college, knew nothing about business applications or business workings. Okay. So all I was excited about writing some computer codes and see that code working. It used to give me a pleasure that way. But I think from that gentleman, first time when I first worked on a business applications, he taught me how to transform a business problem into a computer application and then deploy that to a real user who is using that computer application to do a real life
Okay.
actual work and getting actual thrill out of it. And he, I think, taught me that there's no point being just a technologist. It's a lot more fun
Mm,
what we call being a business solution provider, really. Understand the business problem and try to solve that using a technology and become that solution provider. There's a lot more thrill rather than being sitting in a back room and creating some fancy technologies. I think that was one of the things going long way with me even today. I get a thrill of actually solving a business problem. It's a lot more exciting than creating a fancy technology tool.
Yeah. I really like this. It sounds like the other way around from what you said earlier, right? It's the translating of a business problem to technology. Now, the way you described what you talk to your C-suite colleagues, you have to do the translation the other way around, right? You have to explain to them.
Exactly. And
awesome.
For that, really, what I have also learned at the same time, whatever job I am in, whatever the company, the business is, doesn't matter how much technology I know, I need to learn that business. I need to learn those jargon. When I'm talking to those business leaders there, I need to talk their language. Same way when I go to the board now, when I'm explaining a risk, I need to explain that risk in the business terms. Or if I need a new tool, I need to explain them, okay, if I don't get this tool, what will go wrong from the business side? I just can't tell, okay, this is a fancy, this tool, I really need to put this. Or AI is such a this fancy technology. I need to explain them what in the bottom line. They understand the economic values. They understand the reputational or the regulatory needs. So I need to translate really that. So for that, I need to understand the business really well.
I like that. Yeah. We talked about the past, Amit. I would like to shift gears and talk about the present, about today. And again, question about your journey, not about company, not about roles. When you look at where you are today, what's an area where you have the sense there is growth possible? There is an area where you feel I can do more, I can step up. There is another level of performance available, maybe, as it were.
See, that is an interesting question you make, because I will tell something maybe a little bit outside my everyday work as a CIO and CISO at international COs, because one area you mentioned that I'm a founding member of the Professional Association of the CISOs. CISO is a title, was not created that long ago. It is around 30 years back. Citibank has its first CISO. Steve Katz was the Citibank first CISO in 1995. And that time, the role was nothing but a back office IT security technician whose job is to configure those firewalls, deploy those antiviruses. Purely technical job, has no relation to strategy or any other thing whatsoever. From that, in these 30 years, the CISO role must have had a most transformational journey rather than any other career roles, really. It has first become a regulatory kind of a caretaker. From there, the risk supervisor of the company. And then when we started having all those high-risk cyber breaches, late 2015 onwards, and especially during the health pandemic, suddenly we became a strategic advisor to the CEOs and the boards, because the boards have now realized that cyber risk is a genuine business risk. It has to be managed at a very high level like any other enterprise risks. And the CISOs are the only guys who really can put that forward, that what is the risk, what is the cost of mitigating that risk versus what is the cost of not doing anything on that risk. So they have become a trusted security advisor or a strategist now. Trust is the new currency of the organizations now. A business with a good security practices are the chosen one compared to the ones which are not. Today, if you are banking with a bank or any other organization, if you are choosing B2B, especially business to business, we always look at the cyber hygiene of that company, what kind of cyber record they have. Same way as a consumer, when you go to another company, we go for a service, we look for their cyber records. Is my data safe with that company? So that is again achieved by those CISOs. So it has become really an important role. From that back office now, we sit in every board meeting, we sit there and talk to the board. But with that elevation, we also are facing a great deal of personal accountability. Our role is now, as in the eyes of the regulators, they are not only seeing the corporation as liable for their actions, they are pointing out the CISOs as a personally liable for any action what they have done, which is not really their personal decision, it's their organization decision. But it has gone in his name or her name, and they are being personally sometime in a civil cases, sometime in criminally liable for it. In 2022, the Uber CEO was criminally indicted for some of his acts. In 2023, the SolarWinds CISO was made responsible for some of the declaration the company made way back. So the problem here we face is in this kind of situation where the CISOs are facing more personal accountability, they are not widely protected as a standard manner. The CISO role itself is not a well-defined career role, it's more of a title. No two CISOs doing the work same way or has the same asking from their superintendent. It is not like a CFO or not like a general counsel. Their roles are a lot more well-defined. Okay, and a lot of companies, CISOs are not a named executive officer, so they are not covered under the DNO or other liability insurances of the companies. So if they are charged by the SEC or somebody, they are on their own. This is exactly where the professional association of the CISOs comes in. It is a profit. It's just like the CPA association or the bar council. This is a professional association which will give accreditation to the CISOs. It creates their rule of conduct, and more importantly, we have worked out with the insurance company to give them liability insurance, provide them legal support in case they have to stand up in the court. So this is one area I am putting on a lot of efforts, and we are trying to take it forward as much as possible. And I think I would like to definitely I can put more effort and take this forward.
And do you think the direction is to create that standard template for what the CISO role should be? Or is it more to create a general protection independent
of both. It's three different things, really. One hand is the rule of conduct. So a CISO starting a job at least have a standard blueprint where
some playbook, some
template, something to start. That is number one. Number two is a mentoring, training, and accreditation for current and aspiring CISOs. And the number three is the support and the protection.
Okay.
The three pillars really of that what we are working on.
That makes sense. Got it.
Okay. So this is one area, and the second one is what we said at the beginning, collaboration and networking. You will find me in number of conferences and the seminars, and the sole reason there I go is to collaborate, learn from others, tell them what I am learning, I am failing, and we progress it together. That's the only way, as I said at the beginning, to succeed.
And we said that at the beginning, that you cannot go on your own. It's impossible.
Exactly.
And that's a realization that I think many tech executives learn more and more as they advance, as they progress in their roles. Yeah. Let me ask you a last question, Amit, and then we're going to land the plane. If you had a magic wand and you could change something about how many tech leaders lead their organizations, what would you change? And I know we're generalizing vastly, but what the heck? Let's just do it. If there's something you could change about how leadership typically gets executed.
I think I'll make all CIOs to understand that, yes, we are tech leaders, but we are business tech leaders.
Okay.
So our sole objective should be how can we achieve the current business goals and objectives. Okay, not to get the latest and greatest gadgets and flaunt them. I have this AI model or that cloud technology. If that is helpful to my business, I'm adding. My only job is to add value to the business, nothing else.
Yeah. Got it. I like that. That was a nice note to end, and it really went through the interview, right? Making the connection, being the connecting link between technology and the business, being the translator, and being there at that intersection. Amit, thank you so much. Been a real pleasure having you in the conversation.
You are most welcome.
To everyone else out there, make sure to like, subscribe, join us again for our next episode, and very important, make sure to keep your brain cells active.